Hey everyone, this is Corine Lafont, your favorite radio host, your only radio host, and favorite girl, of course. Broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And you know how we do it on Between the Lines? Always with gratitude or thankfulness. No matter what, it's always about gratitude or thankfulness. And I'm thankful to be here. I always am thankful to be here above ground. Not many people are fortunate to be here still. I am still here to be able to do what I do, new graces, new mercies, new blessings, new lessons, new people in my life, like the one you see on the screen, Mary K Savarese. I hope I pronounced it correctly. Did I?
Correct.
Did I pronounce it correctly, Mary?
Beautifully. Thank you.
Very good. Oh, you're welcome. And so I'm going to tell everyone what we're talking about today. Why sin is a blessing. Now, isn't that counterintuitive, as they say? Why is sin a blessing? I love the topic. Why sin is a blessing. And let me tell you a bit about Mary Kay. That sounds like the brand Mary Kay, right? She is a brand. K Savarese was born and bred in Brooklyn, New York, going on to earn a business degree in accounting from City University, New York. Soon after, she found herself working in insurance and finance and went on to marry her wonderful husband. She needs to help me find one of those. And moved to New England. She spent 13 years as a religious education teacher and lived and worked in New York. She's still laughing. It's true. She lived and worked in New York, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. For the past decade, she has served as a Eucharistic minister, which makes it even more reason why she needs to pray for me and send me that man. Okay? She has served as a Eucharistic minister at her local Catholic church, bringing the Eucharist to community nursing homes. After raising a family in Connecticut, she and her husband, lovely husband of hers, became Florida residents. And a little bit later, you know how we do it. We're going to showcase a website and all those good stuff. But we're going to go straight into the discussion now. And I'm going to formally welcome Mary Kay to Between the Lines. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you so very much, Corinne. I am grateful for being here with you.
Yes, it's good to have you. A lot of persons, we're talking about why sin is a blessing. But before we jump into that, in your bio, we spoke about being a Eucharistic minister. Mm-hmm. For those who are not in the Catholic faith, or even for those who are, because we make assumptions that all Catholics know what this is about. So we're doing a blank slate. Mm-hmm. Tell persons what the Eucharist is and what is a Eucharistic minister. And what are the responsibilities of a Eucharistic minister?
Yes. Well, thank you very much for that beautiful question, Corinne. It is a volunteer position, and it is in the various ministries within the Catholic Church that I chose to be Eucharistic minister. And what that entails is I help the priest to distribute communion to the parishioners. But one of my favorite things that I do on a weekly basis, and COVID put a little damper on things, but it started up again a couple of months ago, is that I bring the Holy Communion to nursing homes. And that is such a blessing to meet with these people. So that has been very much the pleasure. And as I said, it is a volunteer position, and it's such a rewarding position, Corinne, to be able to do that.
Awesome. Now you say you bring Holy Communion. Why is it significant to be able to bring that to our people? Why, when I say our people, it's not only Catholics I'm talking about. It's non-Catholics. I don't know if the Eucharistic minister gives to non-Catholics or only Catholics. You need to advise. Or is it people in a community that you serve that can be both Catholics or non-Catholics? What is the importance of bringing that to the people?
Well, basically, again, it is within the Catholic Church. So the people that I do bring the communion to in the nursing homes, they come to me and they say, Mary, we would love to go to Mass, but we can't. So we therefore bring it into them. But they tell me that they are Catholics. So it's within the community, everybody is welcome. But again, we invite people to receive Holy Communion. And as you know, Corine, it's a process that begins with baptism and going through the sacraments.
Yeah. You know, when you were saying persons will ask, well, Mary, I went straight to Mary, the Virgin Mother. I was like, who are you talking to? Is it Mary Kay? Oh, Mary is such a common name. I mean, I'm like, in the Bible, it's common. You have Mary
Yes.
Magdalene, you have Mary, the mother of Christ. I have like, and I'm sure there were many other Marys, but the two that stand out would be Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of Christ. And here you are, Mary, who is giving communion in the Catholic
Yes.
Church, giving Holy Communion to a person. I am like, which Mary are they talking about? And they say, well, Mary, can you? Oh, Mary, it is so funny, and I don't believe in coincidences. Things happen for a reason,
Yeah.
and it's so funny as I talk about it, as a Catholic myself, I find something interesting. I don't know if you have noticed it, but it just came to me. In the Catholic faith, you find that persons who go into the priesthood or even in as a nun, their names, they have the names like Michael or John
Yes.
or
Yes.
Paul. They just, I don't, I, is there a connection? What is happening there?
I guess, right? They're just choosing those very Catholic names. But I think nowadays, I think the priests do tend to go with their own names. The nuns maybe in the past, but now I think they stick with their Christian names. Times have changed.
Yeah. Yeah, because we are bred in the Catholic faith to carry a Christian name, even if your first name may not be Christian, but your second name can be Christian, or probably your full name.
Yes.
Michael Anthony or John Paul, different names like that. They combine it. And I make sure I give my children Christian names. My middle name is Maria, which is the equivalent of
Mary.
Mary, the Spanish
Yes.
equivalent for Mary. But
Yes.
yeah, so it's important, and names carry significance, Mary. Every time I say your name, it makes me think of Mary. And I have been following the show The Chosen. I don't know if you have been following it. It has been a global. I think it has taken over the pandemic. The Chosen. Oh my God, that show really brings Christ to
Yes.
life. I don't know. It really brings Christ to life. I was saying something before and then I got twisted over. I think in terms of persons who give their children names, as I was saying, names and value, and naming your children, because I see people naming their children all sorts of things nowadays. They're not putting, I don't know if they're putting thought into the names. Names carry power. Names carry purpose. Let me just say that names carry purpose. And it's important. And I see the internet is giving us a little bit of problems, but we need to pay more attention into the names we give our children, because we don't know if that may drive or have an influence, and I'm sure it does have an influence in terms of where your children go,
Sure.
live their life, who they surround themselves with, the kind of thinking. Any thoughts on that? Coming from a Christian perspective, not necessarily Catholic, but a Christian perspective.
Christian. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. I agree with you. Names do kind of give the person a starting point. Is that not correct? And sometimes we have to laugh when you hear children are named Moonbeam or something else. But I mean, we have to think of things positively, and we have to look at everybody. We're all God's children. So nowadays, if somebody chooses to name their child Lightning, right? You know, as you said, it's very important what you know, we do teach them going forward.
Yeah. I like how you said that, in the sense of be positive. Yeah, and it's what we have in mind for our children, even from, you know, in the womb, and even before you think of conceiving them, what you want.
Exactly.
And you sort of visualize that. But let's jump into the topic of sin. How sin is a blessing. First, to begin, from the time anybody hears sin, they're like, you're going straight to hell and back. Okay? So I don't understand how sin can be a blessing. If you're burning up in hell and you're turning the cauldron, it's impossible that it can be a blessing.
Well, thank you again for the opportunity to speak of sin as a blessing. And I'm going to start with it in a way that I saw it as a Catholic. And yes, who does not sin? We all sin. And if we can learn something positive from that, God is all forgiving and all wonderful. So when you say burn in hell, I know as Catholics, we were raised to hear that all the time. If you do that, you're going to burn in hell. But I don't look at it that way. You know what? I have been looking at sin, S-I-N, as an acronym. And an acronym, S standing for sight, I standing for invite, and N standing for new. And let me tell your audience what I mean by that. S for sight. You know, as Catholics or Christians, many times, and it's happened to me, we step away from our worship, from our faith, but then something will draw us back in. It always has drawn me back in. And now with COVID and many places of worships that may be closed, maybe going back into your place of worship in a slow way. What I mean by that is sight. Go into your house of worship and sit there and take it in and look around and meditate and have those feelings and emotions and bring yourself into it slowly. And then the I in sin, I believe, stands for me for invite. Invite a friend or a family member to do that very simple gesture with you. And the N meaning new. As Christians, not only as Catholics, but as Christians, we are called to evangelize, to bring people into the fold. And that's what I do with my writing, Corine. My book, the first book that was published, Tigers Love Bubble Baths and Obsession Perfume, very much wanted to draw Christians back into the fold, even though it's about murder and mystery and romance. There's a divine hand of intervention that comes over all the characters.
Awesome. I love how you broke down sin, sight, invite, and new. I'm thinking about switching my network here to see if that will assist us. And although I know it's live and everything looking good on that side, so we're just going to keep going. I know that everything is well because it's a perfect discussion. So I like how you broke it down, you know, sight and invite and new. And I will share with you an experience. I lived in Jamaica for a number of years. I remember the cathedral there once. And oh my word, I don't know if I was really paying attention to what the priest was saying, because just being in in the cathedral, looking at the ceiling. I saw the four up, apostles, Mark, Luke, and John. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and
Yes.
John. I saw the names, and I just went somewhere else. I was caught up, and I just started to cry, just profusely started to cry.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I just took in everything that was going on around. I was watching everybody. I can't remember what was the occasion. It was an occasion, a significant occasion. And I was just caught up in what was happening around, and plus the ceiling, and I was reading everything. The colors, the stained glass. I can't, if I were to tell you, well, clearly I can't tell you what the priest said, or not even the occasion,
Yes.
because I spent more of my time just taking in what was going on, because that is what stayed with me. That is what stayed in my memory. I can't remember anything else.
Yes.
But in terms of anything anybody said, I can't tell you. All I know is that experience I felt just watching ceiling, the stained glass, just, oh my God. No, I'm in Trinidad now, and I haven't been to the cathedral in Trinidad, and I heard that they renewed it. There's some I haven't been, and it's a sight for sore eyes. So I am looking forward to it. I haven't been, and then with COVID, it doesn't allow me to be able to do that, because they're preventing people coming to the churches, and I'm a bit of a distance. But I like how you said that. And you know why I like it too, Mary? Because
why?
A lot of people think that church is going to the church and doing the religious stuff. But you can just sit there in silence. You don't even have to partake actively in the the sermon, in the mass, or whatever it is. You can just sit down and have your own experience. And that is what spirituality and the connection with Christ is for me. And we're talking about how sin can be a blessing. You can sit there and pour out without even opening your mouth to Christ, because he knows your heart. And you leave there lighter than a feather. Lighter than a feather.
I agree.
Because of that experience. Yeah, lighter than a feather. We talk about invite somebody, and you talk about evangelization. People think you have to stand up on the road and give out all these little pamphlets and whatever. No, evangelization comes in everything. Whenever I meet someone, if I so anything, so how I relate with people is how I evangelize, because it's a living thing. It's how you use evangelization to me. It's not necessarily going out and pounding the Bible on people's head. It's how I live is what motivates people to be better. And if how I live, how I speak, how I interact, this is my evangelization. It's not about going on the street and doing that, or probably even inviting to church. It's how I live, because I want to be able to demonstrate and show Christ. And if I am not showing that, it's not going to be seen outside. And when you talk about new, oh my, it's a whole renewal of a being, of your, and what, I thought of this question a few days ago, and I said, if anybody was to ask me, what would I take away from 2020? I would say an increase in my faith. My faith grew as a result of COVID. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm still going through a lot of different challenges, and it's only by the grace of God I can manage. Only. So it increased my faith. More time. I had no excuse. I had more time. I was doing more meditation. I was spending more time. In the morning, he's on my mind. During the day, he's on my mind. In the bathroom, he's on my mind. Cooking, he's on my mind. Going to bed, he's on my mind. And this is what I want. I want him to be constantly on my mind. I'm not distracted, or get distracted because I'm human. I keep coming back. Come in if I feel perturbed, and I for myself, long ago I might have called a friend, like I might say, hey Mary, I want to talk, I want to vent. No, pulled back. I said, no, I'm not calling Mary. I am to call on Jesus. He's my best friend, my comforter. He's everything to me. He's going to tell me what I do. I went to him more than calling Mary. I went to him. I was like, no, I'm not calling Mary. He's not going to tell anybody. Mary might tell somebody, but I am not going to call Mary. I'm not calling him. I am going to go to him. He is going to he will not tell a soul. Well, he might tell his father and the angels and everybody, but he wouldn't tell anybody here. Okay, so I don't have to worry about the news spreading. Okay.
Yes.
So I called upon Christ.
Yes.
So I said, wow, isn't that amazing? Yeah, go ahead.
And what I wanted to add is everything you're saying is just so beautiful in regard to meditation is a form of prayer. But everything you've just described to the audience and to myself is peace. And we are all searching always for peace. And I think that's one of the things you can find.
So. And let me tell you something, Mary. I had to go on to that little rant there because of how passionate I feel about it and feel about myself and Christ. And it's not that I'm perfect. It's not that I don't go through the struggles. Once I'm on earth, once we're on the way to go through the struggles, but it's who we go to is the important thing. And, I have seen growth in myself. We talk about sin is a blessing. We all are going to sin. There's no doubt.
Yes.
We have sin. And we will. So there's no question about it. And I'm not saying to anybody, well, run out there and go and sin. No. But we know that we are going to do things. And it's what we learn from it. What's the blessing? What's the lessons that we take from it? Do we repeatedly do it? Or do we say to ourselves, this is I don't feel good about? Or within my soul, I know that Christ doesn't feel good about, because it's not to say that Christ doesn't know that we are going to do it. He already knows we are going to do it. So it's not a shock. It's not a shock. It's a shock to us, but it's not a shock to him. So I want persons to understand, not to necessarily go out there and purposely or intentionally sin, but understand that what you can learn from it. Is there anything that you want to add in terms of that coming from you're a mother, you're a wife, okay, you're in the ministry, you're coming from a Christian perspective. What would you say to persons moving forward? We're ending 2021 in about 4 months. We're seeing 2022 right on the cusp of 2021. What would you want to say to persons at this point in time?
I would say to everybody is to look within yourself, within your heart, and have faith within yourself. Then have faith within your God, and you will receive so much peace. I think everything that you were saying, Corine, it leads to that. We try to live normal lives, and we sin. We can sin many times in a day. We're human is the bottom line. And I think what he offers us is the opportunity to constantly reboot ourselves, right? We make a mistake and we move forward. So there's beauty in that.
Yeah. That's a beauty, Mary, but it should not be a thing to leverage or to make an excuse. Yes, we're human, and so we say, well, I could do it. No, don't use that as an excuse. Yes, you will be forgiven. But I mean, God will only forgive you. He will always forgive you because he loves you. Don't take advantage of it. He's your father. I mean, he comes just like a regular father, biological father that you would have. There comes a point where they will be like, oh, you're really taking advantage of this. Don't think that God is not going to say the same thing. He's going to realize. But you mentioned peace.
Yes.
You mentioned peace. And I remember pre-COVID, everybody was like running all over the place, running for money, the business, the status, the car, the house, and everything came crashing down. A lot of people lost a lot of stuff: the car, the house, the status, the
Yes.
money, the job, and
Yes.
everything. And it's just down to themselves. And you talk about peace, and I talk about peace. And I wonder to myself if anybody has learned anything in the past, let's call it 2 years. What really is important in life? Is it to
Yes.
run down all those things? And I'm not telling people not to have goals or aspirations, but it becomes so materialistic, Mary. And you could tell me from a Christian perspective and from what you
Hmm.
see in your location as well.
Sure.
It
Yes.
becomes more than God. It becomes their God. It becomes
Yes.
their God, as opposed to realizing the humility. Tell me, what are your thoughts on that? Because we're working towards peace, but to me, you cannot have that peace if your focus is not on God and you put other things that are God
Mhm.
before Him. What are your thoughts
Sure.
on that?
I truly believe that each one of us, as Christians, we have a purpose in life. And many times we hear, He has a plan for us. And I love that He has a plan for us. In other words, He envelops us within His love. And yes, we do stray. I mean, we're human. We like material things. We like this. We sin. But you know what? Try to stay focused. Try to stay focused on your faith in God, faith in yourself, faith in your family, and things will. And as you said, if you're grateful and you stay positive, things do start to change for you.
Amen to that, sister. Amen to that. I see you have your book in the back of you. I want you to
Yes.
pull it out from there
Yep.
and show it up on the screen while I bring up. Yes. Oh, you have one handy right there. Look at you. Let's
I
see.
do.
Okay, I'm bringing up your website.
Yes. Go ahead.
I'm bringing up your website. Hold on one second. I'm bringing up that
Okay.
website. Let's see here now. Yes. Here we are.
There you are.
Let me just move this out of the way. Yes.
That's it.
Is this the
Yes.
one that we're looking at? I think it's a different one. How
Yes.
can we get?
Nope. No,
Is it
no,
the same?
this is it. My book, the book that is published is to the right. The new book coming out is a fantasy adventure trilogy, and that is to the left. So that is in the process of being
Okay.
traditional.
How do
That
you
should be
pronounce? How do you pronounce this? How
um,
do you pronounce
the
this? It looks
girl.
like toilet, but it's toy. Is it
No,
toilet
no.
or
The
what?
girl in the toile wallpaper. So your audience knows. You see it every day, toile. It very much tells a story. And I tell a fantasy adventure in my story. And my Tigers Love Bubble Bats and Obsession Perfume, that is mystery romance with a spiritual twist. And The Girl in the Toile Wallpaper is a fantasy adventure trilogy. But I write in the Christian marketplace. So I think your readers will enjoy. They'll be taken on a trip and a fantasy reading both books.
Who would think that books with these titles and these sort of imagery would be spiritual?
Yeah.
Tigers being well, tigers are always known to be spiritual creatures. But who
Yep.
would think? I wouldn't think that this has anything to do with a spiritual twist or
Yes,
or
it does.
leaning. I would not
It
think that. This is
it has
crazy.
to, yes, it has to do with that divine hand of intervention that comes to all of the characters in the books. And The Girl in the Toile Wallpaper too. It is the story of it's a family story, and it involves generational families. And again, you can see I love to write with quirky titles. I want to be known as the author who writes with quirky titles.
Quirky titles.
Yeah.
How long are the book trailers? Let's have a look at it and see if we can take a look at a book trailer here.
Okay.
It's a minute. Let's big it up on the screen here.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's go back. Oh, sorry. Let me see. I have to go back. Well, how do I find myself on the page again? Let me see. I want to get to the previous books.
You
Where
could
was
go
I
to the
for the
home.
books?
Go
Where
to
was
home.
I?
Go left to home, Corinne. Press
Go to
on
home?
home. Yeah, go
Yeah?
to home. Go to home.
Okay.
Oh, no, go to home.
All right. I did
Just
that.
press on.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Yeah?
There you go.
See, I thought this was a trailer as well.
No,
Was it a trailer?
This one is
Oh,
not
yes.
a trailer. This one, Corinne, they read
Okay.
excerpts from the book. So it'll be long. It would be a bit too long, I think.
Okay. It'll be a bit too long to show, but here it is if persons want to check it out. This is awesome.
Just to visit my
Yeah,
author
but
website.
that previous one, yeah, that one, this one here with the tiger, it looked like a movie. I'm telling you, the trailer really, it started to draw me in. I'll tell you honestly, it started to draw me in. And
I'm glad.
Yeah, it started to draw me in. I was like, "Ooh, I wanna know more about this thing. I wanna know more." And here we are at contact. So if persons need to contact you,
yes,
yeah, you put in your name,
right there,
their name, and so on.
Yep, and my Gmail's down at the bottom.
They can put in their information.
Yep, if anybody's doing book groups, please consider reading my book. And through Zoom and FaceTime and Skype, I can join you. So the technology allows for that, and we would do giveaways and other things. So, but the girl in the 12 wallpaper
you see, good things came out of COVID.
Yeah. But The Girl in the 12 Wallpaper is a trilogy. So this is the first of 3 books, and the book will be published shortly. It's coming soon. So.
Lovely. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Let me get back to you here. Congratulations on that. You're doing good work. And you see, this is what I encourage people to do. They're like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm like, you have time to write the books that you wanted to do, all the courses that you wanted to do, all the gardening you wanted to learn, all the building craft, you have the time. What's your excuse when you were complaining? I don't have the time. No, you do. What are you doing with it? Nothing except complaining. Oh my word. It's crazy. It's crazy out here.
I would love for your audience to visit my author website, www.maryksavarese.com, or email me at maryksavarese@gmail.com. So,
Awesome. Everything is there for you on the website. They could always pause when they watch it, replay, rewind, whatever they want to do, and be able to reach out to you. Mary Kay, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your experience, Christian, non-Christian, mother, son, and you still have to, like I put forward, I claim it, that you have to help me put a prayer out, get it direct to God, to find me that wonderful husband, like how you have that wonderful husband that you married. So I'm putting it out here.
Okay.
I'm putting it out here for you to put a prayer in for me. Okay. Yes, you have a responsibility as a Eucharistic minister.
I light a candle for you, Corinne. I light a candle for you in church, Corinne.
Yeah. Okay. And get your husband involved, your children, okay, to do whatever is necessary.
All right.
All right. Yes, as I say, where 2 or 3 are gathered, okay? We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it going. We're gonna get it going. Mary K Savarese, it's been a pleasure having you. I know that this is going to be showing perfectly well on YouTube, even though we had some little technical stuff in and out, a little slowness and all the different stuff, but God is good. Thank you so much for being here, for being patient with me, for having the discussion, and for talking about something that a lot of people don't want to talk about, and things that we really need to come to terms with. Any final words before you go?
Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure, Corine. And I would just love to say to your audience, too, if you have a passion in your life, don't give up, because it took me over 10 years before I became a published author. And if you have that passion and that desire and that fire is burning in your heart, stick with it. I promise you it'll happen for you as well, whatever goals you may have in your life. Have faith.
You can do it. You can do it.
Yes.
It is possible. And
Yes.
don't make anybody to rush you or push you. You do it at your own pace.
Yes.
When the feeling comes, you do it. Yeah, by God's grace,
Yes.
you're going to make it. So thank you
Yes.
so much again, Mary K
Thank
Savarese,
you.
for being on Between the Lines.